Rumours. They tend to crop up every day on a number of news sites, but here are the ones that you might care about. So let's waste no further time and go straight in with number 1. WWE is considering a heel turn for a top star. We're still perplexed at how the WWE is handling the booking of the Empress of Tomorrow. Her push on NXT saw the mass beauty held finesse with dominance over the NXT roster, creating a believable ongoing winning streak that carried on with her onto the main roster. On it, she remained dominant, with most fans envisioning her as the next WWE Women's Champion and a serious contender to beat. But in a quick flash, her dominance had come to an end, and so did her streak as she failed to capture the gold at WrestleMania 34 against Charlotte Flair. Suddenly, all prospects of being a fighting champion have slowly but surely diminished, as Asuka couldn't even prevail over Carmella on 2 occasions. Now, Asuka has faded into the background of WWE's Women's Revolution, not even being featured in one of the biggest wrestling pay-per-views of the year. The only way WWE can remedy their mistake in booking would be what they should have done at WrestleMania 34, turn her into a massive heel and champion, making her a big deal on the blue brand. According to the Wrestling Observer, plans are in motion to turn her heel at the Evolution pay-per-view, and we hope this is true, as a change in character is certainly what's needed to revitalize the magic she possessed in NXT. To fuel the rumors of a turn, Asuka even tweeted this photo last Friday that some people took as a hint that she could be turning heel soon. Though it says fights for love and peace, her creepy face paint says otherwise. Perhaps WWE is turning her into a maniacal villain and is quote-unquote fighting for peace. Number 2. A top WWE superstar has overtaken John Cena as top merchandise seller. Roman Reigns has been the face of WWE for a considerable amount of time, but his place at the top hasn't really affected his popularity with WWE fans, constantly being booed out of the arena with fans showing real hatred for the Samoan superstar. Since 2014, after the original breakup of The Shield, Vince McMahon has hoped Reigns would overtake John Cena in terms of investment for the company and be the future face of the WWE. It appears that after 4 years of trying, Vince has finally got results, with the Wrestling Observer recently reporting that Reigns has overtaken John Cena in terms of merchandise sales. However, will this be the case when Cena returns to wrestle at WWE's live event in Shanghai and its Super Showdown event in Australia? What would happen to merchandise sales after the Shield breaks up eventually? Number 3. A huge push is in line for a WWE superstar. On this week's episode of Raw, WWE teased tension between Titus Worldwide as they struggled to get on the same page after a WWE exclusive interview showed a frustrated Titus O'Neil who was sick of their ongoing losses each week, squarely putting the blame on both his statistician Dana Brooke and teammate Apollo Crews. WrestlingNews.co has reported the team could see a breakup in the next coming weeks, with Brooks siding with Apollo as he's in line for a big push as a singles competitor and could hopefully climb the WWE ranks, with the Intercontinental Championship being his goal. Crews is undoubtedly talented and deserves this push. Let's hope WWE has finally found faith in him. Number 4. A former teammate might join Braun Strowman to take on The Shield. With The Shield reuniting on this week's episode of Raw, they will certainly make it challenging for Mr. Monster in the Bank Braun Strowman to cash in his contract at a chance to win the WWE Universal Championship from Reigns. While Strowman probably has the strength of 2 men, the odds are stacked against him, as it will be difficult going against The Shield. So it's possible he might enlist some help from a former teammate. It's rumoured that whilst Matt Hardy is taking a short break from wrestling, his former Wyatt family teammate Bray Wyatt will help out Strowman against any further attacks from The Shield. Bray Wyatt recently took to Twitter and retweeted comments he made before the 2014 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which featured the Wyatt family versus The Shield in a 6-man tag team match. Replying to the tweet, "Don't take your guns to town, son, leave your guns at home, Shield. Don't take your guns to town, forget not." Roman Reigns then tweeted, "You act like you forgot. Hashtag our show, hashtag my yard, hashtag Raw." Number 5. Has a planned Survivor Series match been leaked? Survivor Series is the last big WWE pay-per-view of the year, and there's no doubt that WWE will try to make it a much talked about event. The pay-per-view is most famous for its elimination matches, setting two big teams of usually 4 to 5 wrestlers against an equal team, with only those who are the strongest surviving. Even though the pay-per-view is set for November, WWE may already have a big match in mind. Sources have reported that WWE is finally pitting WWE's 4 horsewomen of Charlotte Flair, Sasha Banks, Bayley and Becky Lynch against their MMA counterparts Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Marina Shafir and Jasmine Duke. This match was initially planned for the All-Women's Evolution pay-per-view in October, but it's likely going to be set for Survivor Series. Number 6. Have 4 Hell in a Cell matches been leaked? WWE's annual Hell in a Cell pay-per-view is just weeks away, and yet so far, WWE has only announced one match, that being a couples match between Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus The Miz and Maryse. Whilst The Miz and Bryan had a good match at SummerSlam, its mixed tag bout isn't something most fans are looking forward to. Fear not, however, as WWE looks to have some great matches rumoured for the event. The first being a SummerSlam rematch between AJ Styles and Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. Current Universal Champion Roman Reigns will be taking on Braun Strowman, leading some fans to speculate Strowman will announce his cash-in just before the pay-per-view, as it would be pointless to make him #1 contender when he has that chance already. There have been recent rumours of Jeff Hardy taking on Randy Orton to continue their heated rivalry, as well as a tag match between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. There's been no confirmation on whether any of these bouts will take place inside a Hell in a Cell, but it's likely the Universal Championship match will be, hopefully to add intrigue on whether Reigns can defeat Strowman without the help of his Shield brethrens. Number 7. There could be a huge return at the Evolution pay-per-view. Both AJ Lee and husband CM Punk didn't leave WWE on the best of terms, with Punk at least vowing he will never return to WWE because of the way he was treated in the company and its recent lawsuit against WWE's doctor Chris Amon. On top of that, he has seemingly burnt bridges with WWE, calling out their lack of sympathy towards him when he was injured, talking about its hectic schedule, and Vince firing him on his wedding day, where he told all on Colt Cabana's podcast. Nevertheless, Vince McMahon is never one to hold a grudge, and has proved this in the past by bringing in Eric Bischoff and other enemies like Jeff Jarrett, not only making amends with him, but inducting him into the WWE Hall of Fame. The same could be said with AJ Lee, who left because she didn't agree with WWE's plans of a storyline involving mental health, something she has been an advocate for ever since leaving. However, according to Joe Pesci from Barn Burners Fired Up, WWE has given Lee an offer to make a special return, strictly for Evolution. They reported, Vince McMahon picked up the phone and he reached out to AJ Lee about returning at the Evolution pay-per-view. AJ has not confirmed or denied that. Sources tell me they're closing in on a deal with AJ Lee. Could we therefore see the former Divas champion return to WWE? Could this even open up a CM Punk return? Probably not, but there's always hope. Baby steps, people, baby steps. Number 8. WWE Hall of Famer is training to wrestle again. This week's edition of Raw saw Constable Baron Corbin take over as acting general manager for Raw, where he will replace Kurt Angle for a number of weeks. Why, however, did WWE make this sudden replacement? According to Mike Johnson of PW Insider, he thinks the real reason behind the 1996 Olympic gold medalist removal from WWE programming could be that the wrestling promotion is building up an angle that will see him returning to action. He mentioned on a recent edition of PW Insider Elite Radio, up until this past week, Kurt Angle had been training and had been working out in preparation for another return to the ring for WWE. So it could be that this is the beginning of that storyline to bring him back to the wrestling ring. So either to move him temporarily from general manager, or remove him completely from the general manager and have him wrestle every now and again. There have been rumours going over the last month that Kurt Angle wants to wrestle Triple H again, this time in a one-on-one singles match. Number 9. Ronda Rousey could face a former Divas champion in the Evolution main event. It's almost certain the new WWE Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey will be headlining the Evolution pay-per-view in October, but there's been a lot of speculation of who she might face, and some sources have mentioned it could be a former Divas champion. According to the Wrestling Observer, Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey will face Nikki Bella in the headline match of WWE's historic all-women's pay-per-view, He mentioned on the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, the lead idea for the Evolution main event on 28th October at the Nassau Coliseum is Ronda Rousey vs Nikki Bella, with the idea you are headlining with the two biggest mainstream women's stars in the company. And number 10. WWE are considering putting the WWE Championship on Samoa Joe. Even though AJ Styles retained the WWE Championship at SummerSlam against Samoa Joe in a heated rivalry by disqualification, Mike Johnson on the latest episode of PW Insider Elite Audio mentioned that WWE considered putting the belt on Joe at SummerSlam, but at the last minute went with the DQ finish. There was consideration for Joe winning the belt, but obviously that's not the final finish they went with. There was no real reason why they didn't put the belt on him, but it's clear WWE sees Samoa Joe as championship material. The two are rumoured to have a rematch at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, where a title change could happen unexpectedly. Well guys, that was 10 huge WWE leaks, rumours and upcoming plans for September 2018 and onwards. Which rumour do you want coming true the most? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.